here today because I would like to talk to you about humanitarian work and how UN volunteers enabled me to do this work. I'm also here today because I would like to remind us all, the UN volunteers, how fortunate we are to do the work that we do, to perform tasks and functions that we all believe in, and to have jobs that support our aspirations, our volunteering and altruistic aspirations. I started work with the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, in short OCHA, in 2013, and I have been with the organization since. Part of our work is to respond to emergencies when they occur. The other part of our work is to ensure that we and partners are adequately prepared to respond well to a crisis should it happen. So here we were in Kathmandu on a flood preparedness mission, and in conversation with our colleagues, with our partners, other disaster scenarios naturally come up, including the devastating earthquake scenario affecting Kathmandu Valley. And exactly a month later, the 7.8 magnitude earthquake hits Nepal. I was at home in Bangkok when I received the first red alert on my phone, and I remember following the news, not entirely sure how big the damage will be. And for hours and hours and hours, I'm hoping that the number of casualties will stay low. But the numbers kept increasing, buildings kept collapsing. A team from my office deployed the next day to support the response operations. And a day later, I am being told that I will also deploy to support the response. This was my first deployment, and I was very excited. But I was also scared, and I was also worried. I was generally very confused about how I felt about the whole situation, but I was very eager to help, and I was mentally and physically prepared to do this. This is a mix of feelings that you have to deal with yourself, and the best way to do this is to channel it towards activities, constructive tasks that you know are going to support the work of your colleagues and positively impact the people in need. As I was approaching Kathmandu airport, I remember wanting to have that aerial view of the city again. I didn't know what I will see. What if those buildings are not there anymore? How many of those buildings are not there anymore? What about the people living in those buildings? The first weeks there were very challenging, but we all worked very, very hard. We had very little sleep, but everyone was cooperating, everyone was coordinating, essentially working together, trying to get things done fast and effectively to help people in need. I met volunteers there, some coming from the humanitarian sector, others coming from the non-humanitarian sector, others simply in the area when the earthquake hit. And for the first days, they were providing critical support to the various functions of our response operations. And they stayed throughout months and months simply giving time, giving their expertise, giving their skills, giving their knowledge. And this was amazing. 3 weeks into the disaster, I received confirmation that my mission will be extended to 3 months. At this point, I moved into the sub-office in one of the districts badly affected, the epicenter. Here, the situation was very different to that of Kathmandu. Entire villages were flattened. Across Nepal, nearly 900,000 homes were either damaged or destroyed by the earthquake. Our town was standing, but buildings had many cracks, and for more than 2 months, I slept in a tent. But the hands-on coordination work that we did there, our team, as well as the resilience of the people in the region that I had the chance to meet, were amazing, and this made living conditions completely irrelevant. I also remember how our workspace looked like when I first arrived, and how over the course of several weeks, we developed this into a proper office that provided coordination services, platforms for meetings, and other services. And we all had the right attitude, all of us, including colleagues that we've been working with from NGOs, local authorities, Red Cross movement. We all had the right attitude, complementary skills, and we worked incredibly well together. And at the end of the day, our coordination paid off. We managed to send the right aid to the right people and fast. And we all did this work out of conviction and with passion. You have to stay up late every night, you will do it. And we did it. Although our job is to respond to an emergency, no one can force you to stay up late, to work flat out weeks in a row, to not have any weekends. This is entirely voluntary. Doing the work today so that you don't have to do it tomorrow. And going the extra mile is entirely voluntary. And this is what volunteers in Kathmandu did as well for months and months, and some of them are still there right now. And this is great. We should all appreciate this kind of work. 3 months later, I returned to Bangkok, but I changed, professionally and personally. This is what UN volunteering allows me to do, to learn, to change, but most importantly, to give the way I always wanted. Thank you very much.